Hey everybody, what's going on? We are gaming it out. We're here today with some beginner tips for Phoenix Hope. This is a really cool little game that I've been enjoying a lot on the channel. I actually have a series going right now that I'll card to in the top left of this video if you wanted to tab that up and check it out and see some of what I'm going to show you in live time. I have failed once, and we've started our second world, and we're moving along pretty well now. So I thought what I would do is just share a few things with you that I've learned that might help you get off to a better start, avoiding as few spoilers as possible. I don't want to ruin anything for you or take away some of the discovery or anything like that. So I'm going to do my best to not give any spoilers, but also help you just make help you avoid some of the easy mistakes that I did not avoid the first time that I played the game. So the first one I want to talk about is your building, the way that you want to go about building. Don't build for aesthetic in the sense that you want to space things out and try to put things like, maybe you think like, I'll have houses here and then I'll leave a little space and put a lumberjack here. I would recommend that you do not leave any space. You have this bubble, and this bubble is where your people live. And over time, as you have more villagers come in and they're fed and they're not dying, your bubble's going to continue to grow every day, just a little bit. And it's going to basically increase the size that is safe from portals. At night, portals are going to come up. Demons are going to come out of those portals and try to attack your bubble. They can't spawn inside the bubble. So that's the significance of the bubble. They can come into the bubble, but they can't spawn inside it. Now, portals can spawn right here, but just not in the bubble. So when you're building your defenses, you want to keep in mind the edge of the bubble, right? So generally, I would put a wall here, assign some units to it. The game will walk you through all of that. I'm not going to get too much into the defense and all of that. The game walks you through that pretty well. I will say keep archers in mind. Keep archers and archer towers in mind. That's going to be important later on. But the big thing about building is don't leave space. So like right here, you see it's red, and then right here, it's not red. That's where we want to put that. And then when we build our farm, we want to put it right there. We don't want to put it over here and leave space, because this unused space will add up over time. And again, you're very limited at what you can do, so you're going to need to be fairly efficient with the things that you're building, because anything you build outside of the bubble is just going to get destroyed. And even if you think, well, I'll build outside of the bubble and then put a defense here on it, trust me when I say a portal's going to just spawn on top of it and you're going to be in trouble anyway. So what you do is you utilize the space as efficiently as you can inside the bubble. As the bubble expands, what I like to do is push my defenses out a bit and then utilize the new space that I have in the bubble, right? But if you're leaving open gaps, if you've got 2 empty squares here and 1 empty square here, and then over here you've got 4 empty squares, well, that's eventually going to add up to what could have been a whole building you could have put in the bubble that now you can't put in the bubble, right? So build for aesthetic in a sense, but don't leave gaps between things. That's the first big tip that I want to give you. Second tip, you can place buildings to build without having the resources for them. So like if I place the farm, right now we have everything to build the farm, so it'll go up. If these numbers were red, I could still place the foundation of the farm and they'll try to build it, but it's not going to get built until the resources are there. So you don't want to get too far out ahead of yourself. You want to keep that in mind. You don't want to place 5 or 6 buildings at once, because they're all just going to get stuck trying to build these buildings without having the resources. And they're not going to be doing other important things like repairing your walls at night and some of the other jobs that maybe are a little bit more important to you, okay? So that's another thing I would say is don't get too far ahead of yourself in the things that you're building. Keep an eye on your resources. Keep an eye on what you're building and what you need, and try to have a flow to your movement rather than trying to just drop everything down at once and let them catch up, because it's not going to be good if you do that. One of the early things it's going to have you do is unlock the mine. And then you have to come down here and manually tell them what to do. So you can have them go deeper. You can have them go one kind of rectangle right and left at a time. And then sometimes there will be ore and other things in here that you can have them specifically click on and mine. And you're going to find some interesting things in there. One of the things you're going to find early on is going to allow you to build a scout's hideout. You're going to want to get that put up pretty soon, because if you open your map, you'll see here is your town. You're going to get these missions that pop up that are specifically for your scouts. And what you do is you send them to the mission, they do the thing, and they come back. There's actually no gameplay involved. It's just a little automated thing. And it takes a certain amount of time. Now, Some of them are getting more villagers. Some of them are getting more specific units like archers and swordsmen. Some of them are resources. Some of them are new buildings. Some of them are research. And one of them that you're going to want to look for early on is the scientist lab. Right now, you can't build the scientist lab, but getting that built is going to be pretty nice early on, because then it enables you to start doing research, which does things like makes your build time faster, makes your units stronger, makes your people have more health, it increases the efficiency. So the quicker you get this built and the quicker you start getting research taken care of, the more efficient things are going to start to run, which means you're going to be able to get out ahead of the enemies. Because like I said, once you start to get overwhelmed, playing catch up is borderline impossible, in my experience anyway. So that's something you want to keep an eye on. My suggestion for the order of the things that you build are going to be a lumberjack, and then probably the smithy, and then a farm. The reason I say smithy before the farm is because you need to build the smithy to get a scythe to give your farmer so they can farm. So smithy, farm, collector's lab, and that'll be when you kill demons, they leave these orbs around. You don't see them, but I think that's how it's described. We'll collect souls of the fallen demons. I just imagine them as orbs. And this is what's going to fuel your research. So the sooner you get this built and running, the better equipped you'll be to do research when you can finally build your scientist lab. So lumberjack, smithy, farm, soul collector, scout's hideout when you can, and then scientist lab. That's the pattern I've gone with in my new playthrough, and it seems to be working well. And then again, just continue to expand, push your defenses out to the edge of the bubble as your bubble expands, and open up more space in here for you to build. As far as population management, up here, you can get a quick glimpse at what you got going on. Like right now, we have 6 free settlers. That means if we had, once the lumberjack gets built, we can assign people to be lumberjacks. When the farm gets built, we can assign people to be farms, and that's going to be dictated by how many free settlers you have. You'll upgrade this to a stronghold at some point, and you'll be able to have 4 workers. For now, we'll go ahead and just assign another worker. So now we can have 2 things going at once. So one of them will build a lumberjack hut, one of them would build whatever the next thing is we decided to build, right? And that would be the way that would work. And you want to keep an eye on that, and you want to be thinking about what you need. Just because you can have 2 farmers doesn't necessarily mean you need 2. Just because you can have 2 blacksmiths doesn't necessarily mean 2. So be thinking about that. Again, I'm not gonna do too much of it for you. I just want to give you things that you should be thinking about early on, that will hopefully get you off on the right track. Because that's the big thing, is just having a good start. It really, really is not fun the first time you get overrun trying to recover from that. It is very difficult, and I did not have any success with it. So again, just a couple of quick tips to get you started the right way. Hopefully we avoided any spoilers or anything that would have been interesting to just discover, and we'll keep it going. As I learn more about the game, maybe I'll do an updated version of this. And again, if you want to follow along with me in the series that I have going on the channel for this game, I will link the series below, and it was also carded a little earlier in the video. Would be dope to have you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, drop a like for me. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips that maybe I didn't go over. Maybe you've been playing the game a little bit longer and you know some more things. More tips in the comments would be fantastic. If you have any questions you want to drop in the comments, I or someone else, I'm sure, will answer them. And that's going to do it. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.